You're watching the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com.
I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
Hello.
Punch. Oh, I'm choking. Hang on now.
Dale can't hear anything. Darcy can't hear anything.
I can hear you just fine.
Dale can't hear anything.
If I echo a little bit, just let me know. I'll just.
How's everybody doing? You don't look too happy today, Len.
Oh, I'm just going to be a shitty guest because I'm watching playoffs.
Hockey.
That makes two of us, Lenny.
What playoffs are you watching,
Mooseheads
Darcy?
are playing. The
Oh, you're
Mooseheads.
watching it on TV?
Yeah, it's on Eastlink.
Is it? Okay, I'm watching Peterborough versus Sudbury.
They're winning 2-0 right now. It's going into the second.
What is it, OHL or whatever?
He's watching the Q. I'm watching the OHL.
I think the Mooseheads have a chance as long as they can get past Quebec.
Quebec?
Yeah, Quebec Ramparts.
Quebec.
If I'm not
That's
mistaken, Patrick was coaching.
That's how we say it in Ontario. Quebec.
Quebec.
Yeah, I don't think they like the Quebec.
No, they don't. No. So what's up, Marcel? You haven't said a word.
I was busy trying to figure out how to share the link on Facebook.
Oh. We're trying something new.
Yeah.
And
And I'm still confused.
I'm confused too. I really am. So we're experimenting today. We're trying a new thing they have on StreamYard here called StreamYard Online. And if you see the link and it asks you if you want to join us, please do. Say hello. Interactive kind of thing, like we used to do. And otherwise, everyth's the same. We're boring, and you're not.
Well, I will be boring today. I'm sorry. I'm not really going to be that focused, so I apologize. I feel like an accountant. This is like my busy time of year. My busy season. Fucking playoff. Fuck. I don't even know if I ate supper in the last fucking 10 days at home. Jesus.
I hope you did. I hope you had that smoker fired up, Lenny.
Well, no, it's just fuck. There's between trivia nights and playoffs and John Wick movies and just been busy.
Did you watch it? Did you like it? Don't spoil it. Did you like it? Did you?
Well, the only spoiler is he kills a lot of people.
Somebody told me that the number 4 is better than the number 1.
And he's only he's only got
Right.
something like 38 minutes of dialogue in a
380 words.
How many?
380 words.
I know it.
Sucks if he was being paid by the word.
Well, I'm waiting for it a good copy to show up online, and then I'll watch it.
It's I think it was 2 hours and 30 or 42 hours, 30 minutes, something like that. It's fucking long.
Yeah, it's a long one. Yeah,
it's something. It's almost like poetic or artistry the way they shoot the violence. It's incredible.
It's also because he knows how to move. Like he really does know.
Oh no, he's the shooting and the training and someone apparently, if you really watch the movie, there is a clip change every 15 shots he does.
Really? So they made it realistic.
It's as realistic as John Wick can fucking be, but Oh no, the first movie's still brilliant, right? It was just
I
so
don't know.
simplistic.
I watched Rambo fire off 3 belts without ever reloading once. So,
Hey, Lenny.
but
What's that?
Little piece of trivia for your John Wick movie.
What's that?
He bought all his he just bought
T-shirt-
all his
his
stuntmen
t-shirts
in
for
the
all
movie,
the-
Rolex watches.
The stuntman, he bought them T-shirts. Is that what you're
He does that every show, though. He does that on every set.
Yeah,
No,
and
this one's a little different.
but on the T-shirt, but on the T-shirt, Al, it shows that it tells them how many times they died, and one stuntman died 20 times.
Oh wow!
In the movie, yeah.
Wow.
It's something like they claim 186 deaths he did, or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, and if it's
very long. It's like I love the genre the universe it created in the first movie.
Yep.
Built on it. It's silly but fun.
I will watch all of them before I go see this one.
But I have zero disappointments of John Wick 4 and how it plays out.
There you go. You heard it here.
It is long as fuck, and yeah, you probably could have cut down a half hour.
Well, here's my where I get confused. I love Keanu Reeves. Never mind that he's Canadian. But you go and see John Wick, and then I think in Christmas, Constantine 2 comes out, but he looks exactly the same in all of his movies now.
Well, he's got the long hair and the beard.
Yeah, so he looks like John Wick.
In
every movie I've watched of Keanu Reeves in the last 10 years, I'm watching John Wick, right?
Yeah, but if you look at was it Bill and Ted Face the Music?
Yep.
He shaved the beard. Like he's got the age of the face.
And he still looks like a teenager under there.
I wouldn't go that far.
An old teenager.
No, it's funny. I used to make fun of Keanu Reeves over the years. Because honestly, to me, he'll never be anybody but Bill until John Wick, probably Neo.
You get what I mean?
Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Ted. Actually, he's Ted Theodore Logan. But that's who he was to me, dude. And then he did Point Break, which was a fun movie, but it was kind of over the top crazy. And then he did, what was the next one he did? Speed. And we used to have a drinking game, or like a game every time you watch the movie Speed. Every time he says a line, just say dude at the end of it. The fucking movie's hilarious when you do that. And we made fun of him. But then over the years, I used to say, oh, he's a terrible actor. He's shitty, blah, blah, blah.
No, he's not.
You know what? Is he the greatest actor in the planet? No, but I'll tell you, the motherfucker can pick scripts and characters.
What movies do you know that Keanu Reeves has been in that were absolute flops?
That's what I meant. Well, like I say, he picks hits.
He is up there in the hit-making genre.
Is he going to win Oscars?
With Tom Cruise. No, Tom Cruise will, but not Keanu. Well, you never. He's a good actor, I think.
Well,
anyway.
Tom Cruise is probably a better actor than Keanu Reeves. Tom Cruise is not a horrible actor.
I don't know how many times I heard in the bits of the Oscars that I did watch that Tom Cruise saved cinema.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I think Tom Cruise is another guy that knows how to pick scripts.
Oh yeah.
And,
sure.
and
I think Family Guy saved little Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, you know what actually saved Tom Cruise? Because he was fucked for a while.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
I like that movie. I'm sorry.
No, but that cameo.
It's a shitty movie, but it was hilarious.
That cameo he did kind of brought, because he was going through that weird, what was it, the Oprah Scientology crazy jumping on couch phase, and he was getting out there, right? And he was kind of losing it, and then when he did the Les Grossman character, people was like, oh, it's like there is another dimension to him, right? And that character was fucking funny. Yeah. So, but no, I used to. Then all of a sudden, like about Keanu Reeves, I was like, he sucks. And I was like, man, it's like started going through the movies that I really liked, and it's like, dude did The Matrix, dude did John Wick, dude did he did Constantine. Like, you can fucking pick scripts, man.
He's got movies after movies after movies.
He did Johnny Mnemonic, and I like that.
Johnny Mnemonic, I thought was pretty cool. Again, not a great.
Nothing.
Here's a trivia question.
Great, but they're good for the genre that he makes.
No, here's the trivia question: how many movies has Keanu Reeves has been in that he's actually been named John?
Oh, I don't know.
I do know the answer because I looked it up because I thought about this one day because he was like obviously John Wick. He's Johnny Utah in Point Break. John Constantine. Yeah. Anyway, apparently it's 8.
Cool.
But yeah,
I started watching this week Gotham Knights. You seen that yet? It's Batman's kid. He's been murdered, and now the investigation begins with his kid, Joker's kid, Catwoman's kid, and Robin.
Yeah, but Gotham Knights is a PS5 game.
Yeah, but now it's a series on, I think, AMC.
Oh, is it?
They've so far I've seen 2 episodes. I got one more to watch before they load up next week. It's a weekly thing.
I never think I don't really watch AMC anymore, so it's on AMC?
I believe so, yeah. Yep. And they just announced, or I saw it today, that Mayans is coming out with the 5th season in, I didn't remember the date.
They had the show Titans, which I watched a little bit when
I saw a little bit of that. I couldn't get into it. I've been watching Superman and Lois, and I've been enjoying that. It's by the same people who did or do Teen Wolf, the new one. It's interesting. I like it when a character that I've known all my life gets turned into and they humanize them, right? And like he's got a family in this, married to Lois, obviously, and it's interesting to see the dynamics and how Superboy starts, and that kind of thing.
Oh no, and they do like I love anything.
Retrospect, is that what they call it?
What's that?
A retrospect show, is that what they call it?
Guess so.
I don't know.
But no, I'm most excited for probably the movie The Flash coming this summer.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that just because I'm a huge fan of Michael Keaton's Batman.
That has nothing to do for me. It's the animated movie and this book series, the Flashpoint Paradox.
It's supposed to be like up there as far as spectacles go, so we'll see.
Well, if it follows the Flashpoint Paradox at all, it's going to be amazing.
I stopped watching the show. I can't get into it anymore. I watched the whole thing up till David went home last summer, and that was it.
But it should be entertaining. But no, the only thing I'll say about the John Wick movie, the only other 2 things is there's one scene where the camera angles, like they're in this house, and obviously he's killing people, but it's shooting from above.
Are you watching the private chat that's going on here with Dale and Marcel?
No. I'm watching a hockey game, technically.
Fuck you too, Marcel.
What are they shooting off about?
Let's see.
Dale had a question.
He's got a question. It's blue. It's blue, Dan.
Just wait.
No, you had your chance. You had your chance.
Ask the fucking question, because other people might be wondering the same question.
Well,
so I said, ask out loud, and he said he didn't want to interrupt, and I said, fuck them, they're not talking about cannabis anyway. So.
100%. Marcel's correct.
So what's your question?
I was just wondering what the medium setting on Shadowizer was, the blue or the red or the white?
Blue. Red is low and white is high. Unless you're using the large battery one, the new battery, then there's actually 4 settings, I believe.
Oh, is there?
The only difference I've found so far between the bubbler battery, the battery that comes the battery that comes with the bubbler, it won't let you run it while it's charging, unlike the regular Shatterizer where you can plug it in and use it all day long.
Yeah.
I like that.
So do I.
Yeah. Yeah. Stays plugged into the Shatterizer.
I got to hook my bubbler back up.
You know, I don't even know where it is yet. I haven't found it. I have to dig it out. It's here somewhere.
Yeah, mine is too. I have it all set up somewhere.
Oh, I still got half my shit. So, anyways, Dale, do you mind if we discuss seeds?
No, go ahead, man.
Okay, so my buddy Dale here has sent me a fucking lot of seeds. Thank you. I'm shocked how much you sent me, bud. And I don't have them here with me, but you know what you sent, right?
Yeah.
So explain to me, like, did you pick and choose stuff that you think I'll like, or did you just grab a bunch and send it?
I had some that I figured you'd like the Northern Lights ones. There's it's the number 2s in there, and then there's also it's a number 5, but it's not. It's just like a white label number 5. It's not from Todd or anything.
What's the difference?
It's just somebody else's take on Northern Lights.
Okay. Todd McCormick is the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the skunk, that's from him. What else is there?
Cool.
I play with.
On a dunderhead move, I saw McCormick and I deleted him. Now I'm waiting for him to add me again. You know why? McCormick, nope.
But all of the seeds that you got, you're not going to.
The same thing happens if your name's Kevin.
All of the seeds that you got this year, you're not going to grow this year, right, Al?
Yes.
You are growing those ones that Dale sent you?
Yes.
Oh, are you? So you're going to sex them?
I don't know.
None of them are feminized.
I hope so. You're going to have males.
Okay. Well, we'll learn how to do that. Then.
But one of them strains he sent. But one of them strains he sent you is an autoflower. If I'm not correct, is it Dale?
I believe so. I think there's a couple there, isn't there?
Oh, nothing better. Nothing better than watching an autoflower turn into a male.
But are they not? There are some feminized ones there, aren't they?
No, everything's regular.
Oh, okay.
And them autoflowers, Al, are only 65 to 68 days.
Ooh.
From seed.
Ooh. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know I'm gonna. I know the big thing, and the only thing I was waiting for was the Northern Lights. So, I'm very pleased. Thank you.
And your lemon skunk and godbud, make sure they got lots of ventilation.
Well, they'll be in the greenhouse.
Make sure they got lots of ventilation. They'll grow big for you.
I got in the mail this week a arm that is reactive to humidity for the vent. There's 2 vents. I got one, and if it works, I'll get another one.
Temperature.
To control the temperature in there. I'm not going to let this fuck up. I'm going to do everything I can do to just make sure that it happens seamlessly. You know, we've got 1, 2, 3 walls already wrapped. Got to do the ceiling and the last wall, which is the partition wall, in the flower room, and then I'm just going to play.
Well, you're going to use your flower room for vegging to put your stuff outdoors.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I've completed the flower room so that it's done. It'll have the fan running and everything. And then in the winter, we'll finish the other side up for vegging and back and forth. Right. There's no sense. I figure there's no sense me flowering in the basement when I can stick them out in the greenhouse in a month. Right.
Right.
So save some money.
What is this? April, May. Yeah. For you, you might be looking at June before you put them in the greenhouse.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, when the temperature says it's right in there, you know.
Yeah, you want to go a week with temperatures over plus 10 at night.
Hi, Alexi. Okay. Well,
So
I've got my weather station here right in front of me. It is 6 outside right now, 13 in here, and 18 downstairs.
What?
Yeah. I have the window open.
Say that again?
It is 6 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Okay. It is 13 in here and 18 downstairs.
13 in where?
My office in here.
Cold?
Well, it's a little chilly, but that's okay. I'm comfortable. I don't have the furnace on right at the moment.
Oh, I suppose you got a fucking hat on.
I've got the.
I was thinking about
I
the
always
carbon
wear my
tax.
hat, dude. I've got the blinds open in here, so it's a little cooler in here, right? And
I don't even know what the temperature is here.
Al's being proactive on the carbon tax effective tomorrow.
am I?
Yeah.
Why?
It starts tomorrow or the next increase, whatever the fuck it is. It's April
For gas?
all carbon.
Everything.
It's -1 here.
I don't use. I only have hydro heat, so I mean, my furnace is hydro, so I don't have gas in the house.
And this right after they gave themselves a big raise.
Yeah, huh? And what about that rebate they gave us last year for all the power stuff?
Well, you're getting $437 maybe this year for groceries.
Plus, I get.
I thought it was $250.
I get the Northern Ontario, heat rebate.
Here's the thing that people need to realize, just for the minor politics out there. When they're giving you rebates, you're still probably paying more tax in than what you're getting back in rebates.
You said it was +6 there, Al?
Mm-hmm.
It's -1.
Not outside my window.
Al's in his own little vortex.
Yeah.
Special temperature for him.
Well, the sensor for outside is just in my window here, and then I close the window, and it's just sitting in the window. So.
On the inside?
No, on the outside. Duh! I'm a pothead, not an idiot.
Must be getting a lot of heat from the outside. Because I'm checking your temperature, and your temperature is the same as ours at -1.
I'm looking to see. It says +2 on the Weather Network. On my phone, it says +2. Terrace Bay, +2. We're going up to, let's see. It was a high of 5 today. Yes.
Yeah.
0 tomorrow, 2, -1, 0, 2, -2. We got snow coming on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday.
We got 7 in rain tomorrow, and then we don't get any snow coming for the rest of the week.
We got dumped on the other day. I had another foot on my frickin' car, and it's like I'm done with it.
I find here once we get by Easter, pretty rare you get much of any snow.
Oh yeah, but I've seen it snow on Victoria Day weekend. So.
Oh, listen, I played golf Victoria Day weekend and had a chip out of snowbanks.
Yeah. yeah. Look, a couple of years ago we had snow right until June, and we couldn't put plants out until fucking July.
Yeah, I can't even get in my backyard yet. There's still 3 feet of snow back there.
When's the full moon this year?
It is April 7th, I think.
Ooh, right on.
Let me look.
April 7th?
Let me look.
Oh, I thought you said June 7th.
No, I there is one in April. Full moon.
It's June 4th.
June 4th. Right on.
Yeah, I knew it was an early one this year.
There's a lunar eclipse coming. It says here, full moon, April 5th.
Yeah, but we're concerned about the one in June.
And then May 5th. Why are you concerned about the one in June? Explain.
Because a good rule of thumb for planting is you don't put any plants outdoor until after the last full moon in June. And unfortunately, sometimes June gets 2 full moons. One at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. and you wait until the last full moon to put your plants out.
Well, there's all kind of planet stuff going on tonight. Like I could see Uranus in the sky.
So you can. I'm sitting on it.
I love that. I can see Uranus flicking out my window.
That's like a picture of, you can fit this many Earths into Uranus.
But Uranus, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars, I think, all lined up, and the moon and the sun, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Is it dark enough there for you to get a look at the Aurora Borealis that we've been having?
I missed it on, like last week. I was watching TV, didn't have the window open. Then all of a sudden I see pictures from the girls up here, picture. Yeah. Ooh, look at this on my drive home, blah, blah, blah. And I went outside and I looked above the house and it was there, but it wasn't colorful. It was white at that point.
Well, you got to go out somewhere where it's dark.
Well, it's dark.
Don't have a lot of street lights or even lights from the town or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's my problem here is I live in town. And
me too.
I've got too much ambient light.
Yeah.
Well,
can we even see it from here, Marcel?
What I didn't realize, Marcel, was the fact that I could have just opened my fucking blinds and looked out over the lake, and I would have seen them.
Yeah, but it would be the other direction that they'd be coming from.
Yeah, but
they come from the north.
Yes, that's true. But
so if you're looking at the lake, you're looking south.
That's right. But I'm facing southwest, so when I look out my back windows of the house,
I can
see it better. Yeah. It's like if I go out in the backyard, and I will when I can, I'll see them. I can see them from my deck, right? I just missed it by an hour. That's about it.
Hey, Lennie, there was a really nice picture taken of them up by the toll booth on the highway.
Oh, okay.
Last week or the week before. That spot where you get up there where you can see New Brunswick and PEI at the same time.
Yeah. Like how often will we ever get to see them here in Nova Scotia?
Not a whole lot, but the problem is the sun's been having some strange activity happening.
Yeah, they found holes.
Yeah, some massive holes are forming on the sun, and those holes are actually spewing radiation at the Earth. The radiation bounces off not our atmosphere, but our magnetosphere, and that's why you get to see all the pretty colors.
Now,
I always wanted to see that. It is on my kind of.
I think there's more coming this week.
Oh yeah, there's more. It's not done yet. Not at all.
In I think it was 1981, I was looking at them, but I had to look south to see them because we were so far up north.
Someone text me that I should be able to see them because I'll drive up to that spot.
Well, I know that Elzora's daughter and her husband went out, I guess, up the road, past the mill and that, and they got some really nice pictures. The other daughter on the way home got some really nice pictures, and that was out of town over by the dump area. The dump is proving to be one of my favorite places to go.
Well, especially when the bears are there.
Well, the eagles just sit there in the trees, and the bears eventually, in the next week or two, you're going to see the bears walking around over there, if not already. The lady, because I asked if I could come over and just kind of sit and take pictures, and she said, I don't see why not. So, but all I've seen...
Yeah, I can see it now. I was going to be one of those statistics, man eaten by bear taking pictures like Chinese tourists in Banff.
See ya. I'll leave a note every time I go, just in case.
We have a cornfield that we'll go to. We used to go, and we haven't done it in the last couple of years, but the bears every year are in this cornfield. And they're sitting there digging up the cobs of corn that were left behind. And the whole road is nothing but cars. Everybody's sitting there watching these bears out there eating these old corn. Always waiting for one of them to get out of the car. Oh, it's so cute.
I always go out and have a peek when I let Rosa out into the yard because, they're out there and I can see the paw tracks. So You know, there's
but
there's a big dog roaming around. I've seen that kind of big dog roaming around tracks. But I got the fox roaming around too, and I've seen one squirrel so far. Haven't seen my chipmunks.
You got a trail camera set up, Al?
You know what? I just ordered one of those ones that screw into your light bulb.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to put that out in the front to catch the stars and shit over the water. But if it works well, I'll get a one for the back because it will track them. If I put it on track mode, as soon as it goes on, it will track whatever's moving.
Right on.
Ooh,
Yeah.
neat.
They're only $20, Marcel.
Where?
I'll show you the link.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link. They just screw right. They come with a light bulb kind of screw-in thing that you can wire up. Otherwise, you just screw it right into a light bulb socket.
So what
And
you do? Cast to your phone or something?
And yeah, it casts to your phone. It's an IP camera, and it's 1080 DPI.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I looked at the pictures. I looked at it. I said, you know what? I got $20. I'll buy it. You know, I'm that much into the wildlife around here that I want to watch it. So you know, we'll see what happens. There'll be video. That I just also want to say on the camera thing, fuck Blink. Don't even. Okay, they suck. Anyways, hello, people who are watching. We're not talking about pot yet.
Oh, I'm reading about.
I got a question for Len.
What's that?
How what are your feelings on this whole canopy thing? They've been naughty boys.
What's the new canopy? I don't think I heard this news.
Well, in the same breath,
hold
on. In the same breath, they have announced a new beverage, and then they've also are being fined heavily for being naughty people.
For a breach of service.
Yes.
What do you mean breach of service? What do they do?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, Canada Growth reported in its 8K filing that it had received a decision from an arbitration tribunal in connection with a dispute arising from services rendered pursuant to a services agreement involving the company and its subsequent termination of the services agreement. The tribunal held that Canopy did not have the right to terminate the services agreement. As a result, the tribunal awarded the counterparty default damages in the amount of approximately $15 million, inclusive of taxes. Pre-award and post-award interest at the annual rate of 5.5% compounded monthly from December 9th to the date of payment of $15 million, and the cost of the counterparties to the arbitration, the amount to be fixed by the tribunal. Canopy stated that it continues to consider all options that may be available to it with respect to the tribunal's decision.
That's a lot of money.
So basically, they had a deal with somebody and broke it, and
it was with a grower in Quebec.
Okay, contract grower,
and they backed out of the deal and left that grower with a shit ton of pot.
Shitty.
Well, $15 million worth to be precise.
That's not uncommon. I've been hearing in the cannabis space.
Mm-hmm.
People doing contract grows with other LPs or micros, and fucking
then pulling out. Yeah.
Is it a quality thing, or is it just a
overpromise, under deliver? Right. Here's the problem with it. I won't say the big famous brand. They're famous for fucking over micros. We're going to sell all this weed, and then all of a sudden, the sales go down, and they contracted these people to grow it for them, and then they don't want it anymore. So it's a slippery slope and danger, and that's why we try not to trail cannabis, stays out of it.
I suppose because by the time the 3 months is up for the grow after they've been contracted, the market could have changed and they could be trending.
That's exactly what happens. Doesn't matter how good your fucking strain or weed is, there's a shelf life on it. Cannabis users in the Canadian market space are like squirrels. Oh, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And they just jump, right? So you need to be wary of how much of anything you're growing, and that's the problem with the contract grow is how much do you buy and what happens when it stops selling. So
you stop paying rent. That's what happens.
Well, no, apparently.
No,
Well,
this
guy got lucky.
It sits there, Al.
Wow.
It just sits there, Al.
Now, there's other games, and it could be Strain X, and they just re-release it as Strain Y, but it's really Strain X in the package.
And they do the same fucking thing with the tax shit because they get into trouble, and then they close down, and then they start up somewhere else. And that's fucking bullshit because the people that fucking paid into that fucking company to get them started are now sitting there going boo-hoo. Right?
Oh, there's all kinds of games.
I don't like the games that they're playing with the whole fucking tax, or the, what do you call it? Stocks and shit, right? But it's a part of the game, right?
Oh, listen, people and the bankruptcies, and listen, I know just the town of Truro, I like the guy, but I think he ran like 8 bars, and I don't know how many of them close.
Well, look at the, Tragically Hip went into the business.
Yeah.
And they went into the business, and then the company that they went into the business with sold after they were on the open market. Then all of the stocks were absorbed. So everybody who jumped in to support Tragically Hip got absorbed by the company that bought the company.
Yeah.
And now they're done. And that doesn't seem fair to me. That sounds just like somebody going, "Hi, I'd like your money. Bye-bye." It sounds like a crook to me.
A lot of the people that were in the public game and made a lot of money at the start, yeah, they were probably crooks. There was a lot of people got rich, but way more people lost money.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
And that was unfortunate. And what happened was everyone thought, we're going to make a whole bunch of money on this, and we're going to brand our way out of it. And
I can tell you exactly what happened because I fell for it. And it was watching everybody making like 80 grand here, 120 grand there, cashing out, and then going back into it and doing it again. And then all of a sudden the market just goes because we all went legal.
Well, to be honest, part of you're talking about Up Cannabis, by the way. Their weed just sucked. I'm sorry.
No, I'm actually talking about Canopy.
No, but Up was the Tragically Hip brand. It just wasn't very good.
Well, I don't know. I never got to the point where I could try it.
A lot of their early weed company, they just were not very good weed.
Oh, okay. And that happens. That's the risk of buying stock in an open company.
Well, no, just so many people jumped into it at the start, and they just think, weed is weed is weed. They weren't cannabis culture, cannabis knowledge people. Canopy fell in that trap too, right?
I was too. I fell into it, and I thought I knew what was going on. And some people were saying, "Yeah, go for it." Some people were saying, "Shut up, Marcel."
Not saying a word. I said all I needed to say. I was right.
No, but the early ones, to be honest, their quality was not very good. The pricing was way out of whack.
We're way out of whack. Yeah, but they're coming back down now. So
now the problem is they're so low.
Yes,
nobody makes money, and most of them are going to go out of business because they don't make money. So it flip flopped. First, it was terrible quality and too high prices. Now the quality's not so bad, but the prices that everyone's getting is just because of the taxes is too fucking stupid.
Well, I'm hoping that in a few months I won't ever have to buy again because I'll get my cycle going.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You'll be so much happier, man.
I
but
hope
in the
so,
end,
because I have no complaints over the quality that I get now, and sometimes I'm going to the LP here in town, which now has Shatterizer stuff. Woo! And but I know what I like. Like this week, I got some Durban Poison by Original Stash, which I believe is tweed, right?
is that tweed? I can't remember. There's so many in the own each, whatever.
Yeah,
Might be
but
or
I like it. And you want to know something? They're smalls. So everybody laughs at me that I'm buying smalls all the time. I'm getting fucking smalls from the fucking LP as well. Hello.
Yeah, but if you're getting smalls, then you're not paying for stem that you're not.
No, unfortunately, these are very stemmy. Unfortunately,
there's a weird arrogance in the cannabis space. Everything's gonna be a big bud, but big buds also have the biggest stems.
Well, I mean, when you pull a big bud apart, what do you got left?
Oh, the big bud. It is the top of the plant. Usually, it is a little bit potentially higher THC,
but you can take the buds off of that and not put the stalk in, right? So that's the thing with smalls. It could be from that part of the bud as well, or that part of the plant.
It could be, but no, nobody ever pulls the smalls are smalls that you're getting from an LP. I'm sorry, no one's destocking it for you.
Oh no, but home growers will do it.
Yeah, but but again, there's nothing wrong with the
never
small
complain.
Anyway.
I never complain about any of the stuff that I get, because the only one I can complain to is an asshole.
Darcy?
Oh, Darcy doesn't supply me.
No, but he's an asshole. So what are your thoughts about? Because you're an avid grower, like that's what you do.
I break down my buds to 2.5 gram buds.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything, I like, I prefer to kind of keep them between
it's great to have a pop bottle sized bud, but you're not going to smoke it anyway. So why not get rid of the 5 grams of stem that are holding that pop bottle bud together?
It's I have no idea where it came from. Like, obviously Truro grows big buds because that is apparently what people connoisseur wants, and that's how we do it.
Do you have people telling you that? Do you listen to the suggestions, or some of them anyways?
It's just what people.
That's market driven.
It's market driven.
Excuse me 1 sec.
Now don't forget, there's different markets. There's different sectors, right? There's some people that just want, give me the cheapest fucking weed I can get, and there's people out there doing that. There's some people that want, hey, you know what? I don't want the cheapest. I want the middle, and for a certain value. And then there's and Truro, we try to be one of the like a top shelf premium type of. Here's your pretty sticky big fucking buds and whatever. It is what it is, but technically the larger the buds, the larger the THC.
I've never gotten a sticky bud from an LP. Sorry, they're usually dry.
Well, that's what some LPs release too, right? And again, to me, it's not about the bud size. It's like, was the right moisture? Is it the
one thing that speaking of moisture, the one thing that I do like seeing when I'm trying different strains from the LP, from OCS store, is I'm seeing a lot of ounces anyways have the packs in them, which is great.
Most people put in the 28
not
grams.
all of them. The ones that you would expect would have them, but the ones that you wouldn't expect them, that didn't make sense, but you get where I'm going.
Yeah, to my knowledge, most fucking people with anything 14 gram above put a
grassland does not.
Now, there's also a small
old stash
counter argument there that why are you thinking the boost packs affect the taste and the terpenes?
I've heard this as well, and I've heard that you shouldn't put your buds against the actual pack. You should put it up on the top or put it into a bag or blah, 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 blah. So, it's just like do what you want. Whatever works for you.
In the end, someone's going to complain no matter what you do.
That's right. That was my point. Yeah.
I think for the most part, I think most people will prefer the moisture be maintained a little bit.
I like, okay, I'm using this container because I like this container. It seals. But this container is from Grasslands, and it's for their indica that I get. And they're smalls usually, but they're usually really, really hard and dry. They don't put packs in here. But then you get something from Original Stash, and they do. Right? What's the one, the Durban Poison?
Yeah.
Has it in it anyways, and it's nice. I like it. I've been buzzing around for 2 days getting shit done. So, yeah. So what else is in the news there? I didn't really post much yet this week, I guess.
I don't think it was a very large news week.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. It wasn't.
Well, I'm reading some right now. I'm just looking up. It's not what I want. Go to. That's what I want.
Oh, well, hey, you know what? Let's run this here.
I'm looking up
Let me load
medi.ca.
I want to load this here real quick. It's a poster, a video poster from Karma Cup announcing what there's got going on. They're actually talking about it. I think there's a date now as well for the LP version of the Karma Cup. So we can all see this here. Yes?
See what?
Look at the screen, buddy.
I am.
There's no video, or there's no audio, unfortunately.
I don't see a screen.
Look at our screen, the StreamYard screen, bud.
I am.
Our video. It's up on the video.
Not
I
on
see
mine.
it.
Huh.
I see it down on the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
I just put it, it's up in the window. Anyways, so it's in May. They are announcing that judging kits will be available at OCS for the first legal cannabis.
I can see it on Facebook stream, but not in here.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Huh. Well, anyways, so that's that. I'm interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this. Okay, I was able to have a nice long conversation with Sarah about it back at Lyft, and so it's and I thought that maybe it got quashed, but I guess not.
Hey, Darcy, is he there?
Yo.
Yeah.
I was just Matt just texted me. I gave him a couple buds of the orange Cushmans.
Yeah.
Which are really nice, by the way, but he actually pressed into rosin. He said unreal.
Yeah. Ooh.
So Shoppers Drug Mart is getting out of the business, eh?
What?
Has that been announced?
Are you serious?
Shoppers Drug Mart
Where's
is
that story?
Right here. I'm just reading it to you
They're
right
pushing
now.
all their patients to.
Shut up, Darcy. I'm in the process here.
Oh, sorry, Marcel.
Shoppers Drug Mart is moving away from its medical cannabis distribution and preparing to transfer patients to a platform run by biopharmaceutical company Avicana Inc. The pharmacy-owned chain by Loblaws announced the shift Tuesday, but did not say what prompted the change or how much money Toronto-based Avicana is paying for shoppers to refer patients to its mymedi.ca platform. So mymedi.ca platform says it's launching in May 2023, and you can subscribe.
Well, this should be a news thing for all you people that don't want to go to that one. Optimus Cannabis is open for business, fuckers.
Right, but here's the thing that gets me is I had to look up Avicana, and it's a driving biopharmaceutical advancement of naturally derived and evidence-based products. they have a whole complete line of cannabis products that I got a funny feeling they're going to be pushing onto those people.
Well, even more so, Optimus Cannabis will have your weed, all your needs.
Yeah.
What's the
and they've
URL?
got a veterans program and financial
Lennie?
support.
What's that, Al?
What's the URL?
For what?
www.optimuscannabis.ca.
Wonderful products, Al, and really reasonably priced.
Marcel, why don't you type that out in our comments so people can see it? It will go out.
I am half joking, but I've heard this rumor since December. Eh?
What about those guys?
Getting out, yeah. Because to be honest, 90% of Optimus Cannabis was because Shoppers Drug Mart sucked.
I don't know anybody who has used the Shoppers Drug Mart service at all.
And I'm talking with the cannabis arm. I'll leave my Shoppers Drug Mart pharmacy side comments alone. But I was never happy how they did it. They put prices that were just terrible, products that were overpriced and just not valued. I witnessed people going through their medical online clinic and they were just fucking herding cattle. It was not, as a pharmacist, I thought it was embarrassing. So good on them, fuckers.
Good.
Because they did not do a good job. And
what'd you find now, Marcel?
No, I do one post and it actually posts 4 different times.
Yes, it does on every network that we are broadcasting to, which right now is Facebook, StreamYard on air, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're on Twitch. Hello, Twitch, and then a whole bunch of Boxcast. A whole bunch of links are going out through Boxcast, yeah. Hi, how are you? I was looking forward to trying this this evening, and now I'm disappointed, and I feel like I've wasted my time. No, I'm kidding.
I got all kinds of new buttons here. I don't know what this add item is. Add a camera slot, add a media slot.
Yes, this is this new stuff that I was talking about. We can move these cameras around. I can put myself and switch places and put Len up here on the other side there and put Marcel down here. You know, so they've added some really cool things to StreamYard. We can even throw Dale out the room. So watch.
Wow. All right, cool tricks.
That was an interesting news story. I'm surprised I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so May of 2023, the shopper people that are left that haven't gone to Optimus will be able to get theirs.
Well, as soon as I get my Renew actually in my hand, we're going to sign up on the air to show you how quick it is and easy.
Oh, we can do that for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Al doesn't ever need to buy from me because he's going to have his own supply, which is 1,000% fine.
No, but I want to be able to do that because then I can try your products that you have.
Yes, it's always fun to try something even just for a change.
I like trying something new, and I also like trying stuff that's good, but I really don't see the necessity of paying a $200 or $300, even $400 ounce just to say that I tried some really good fucking pink kush, man, that cost $15.50 a fucking gram. I'm not doing it.
Well, for $155 an ounce, you'll get some really good Mac 1.
That's what I'm talking about, Darcy. I mean, I got this Durban Poison from Original Stash. It was $113 or something like that.
Oh, I'll tell you, because I got it pulled up on my NSLC thing here. $119 for us.
Well,
What's
no,
that?
no, it was 118. I think I remember. So, and the prices do vary a little bit. I've noticed because Marcel and I have done that with the
They got
the
two
seed
different
cooler.
types of ounces on there. That one and garlic jelly.
Yeah, there's a
And
Jean
it's
Guy
$1.
on there that I wanted to try. A Jean Guy, a Jean Guy. Yep.
Jean Guy.
Yeah.
It's a Jean Guy is not a strain. It's a phenotype of white widow.
Oh, then I won't be getting that.
Yeah. It's actually a more sativa.
I've had it before and I liked it. That's what this Durban poison is. It's just a straight, flat out sativa.
Sativa.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, Al,
here's some.
What's that? Darcy?
Just right quick, to be honest with you, Lennie has a strain that I want to try. It's Mendo Perps.
I've been hearing you guys talk about that.
You've had Mendo Perps before, haven't you, Darcy?
I want to try that one.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, let me ask you a question,
grower.
Len. Through Optimus, I can get churro stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Because that's really, to be honest, that's really why get anything but churro through you if I can get it.
It's not all about churro. Optimus wasn't all about churro cannabis.
I know that. I realize that. Yes, but I want to utilize it to access churro cannabis.
What I was trying to do,
access some of the other growers too.
Oh, I will. Yes. Because I like
trying to do with Optimus is get more Atlantic Canadian
varieties
going.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
How many
got basically East Can Churro, MCQ, and nobody else.
Did you talk to Shatterizer yet about doing them?
What's that?
Who?
Shatterizer's got products now. You should go ask them.
I could ask Shatterizer. I just haven't, just because. To be honest, I'm not as a pharmacist. I'm not 100% sure if I want concentrates on there.
I think they're doing. I think they're doing weed as well now.
Okay, but to be honest, like all I ever wanted was to get about 15 or 20 strains, some like really good value, some premium, and some in the middle.
Yep, there you go.
And I wanted to make sure there's oral THC, CBD capsules or soft gels on there, and some oils. And I'm probably even going to put a few supplements in the next little bit, fish oil and magnesium and things that I sell in my pharmacy on there as well. Just things that people
you can add other non-cannabis stuff as well.
Yeah,
for Optimus.
I'm going to, yeah. I just I'm waiting for an upgrade on my webpage first.
I like that because you're basically going to create an online store of shit that it's important.
It's basically it's basically me putting some products on that I recommend for chronic pain or sleep issues or anxiety issues that aren't cannabis, aren't pharmaceuticals. They're just really good botanical nutraceuticals.
Let me ask you a question for the future. In the future, when we're able to do the whole psilocybin magic mushroom thing, will you be adding that kind of thing as well?
100%. I'm allowed to. Yeah, I'd listen. I make no secret about it. I think mushroom.
You got my vote, Len. Lennie for president. Oh,
yeah. Sorry. Someone asked me that one time would ever do politics. I was like, I can't go long enough without swearing. No chance.
You also could do it because you can't lie.
I can't lie. I might be polite, but it's just I wouldn't make it a day.
Speaking of politics, I have one question. I really don't give a fuck about Rump, but I have one question. Okay, because he's been indicted on criminal charges, lots of them. Can he still run?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Because he hasn't been charged yet.
He hasn't been convicted.
So once he's convicted, can he still be the president?
I believe so.
Jail.
My point is this going to stop him from even running?
No.
Okay.
It's going to make him. It's going to make him bigger.
What are they indicting him for?
Getting the blowjob from Stormy Daniels.
Basically, it's a misappropriation of a small amount of funds.
Small
amount. Paid for a blowjob, like Darcy said. Anyways, I got some news for you.
But in all due seriousness, like
Yeah.
What is the actual crime?
Well, because he's Republican and he's not Bill Clinton.
No. I'm like, regardless of the politics, like, obviously they're coming after him because he's Trump.
Misappropriation of funds.
Is that a crime?
Well, yeah.
What, was it public funds?
Yeah.
Or is his own money?
No, it was in New York. That's all I know. That's
what I'm saying. If it was like public taxpayer money, yes, I'll get that. That's, to me, embezzlement, or fraud. But no offense, like, if they had sex and he wanted to keep her quiet and she said, "Give me X amount of money," where's the crime?
Sorry.
Anyway, that's all I'm trying. I'm serious. Like, I'm just asking. Like, how is that a crime?
I don't think it has any. I honestly don't know. I just know that I find it very interesting that they've indicted him on many accounts of stuff in New York. And
here's what it is.
Yeah.
The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has been investigating Trump in connection with his alleged role in a hush money payment scheme and cover-up involving adult film star Stormy Daniels that dates to the 2016 presidential election.
Oh, so she really is involved in this. Holy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. Like, this came up during that time that he gave her hush money. Like, I don't even think he denied it.
I thought that was just done. I thought it was
what's the indictment for? Trump faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud in the indictment that CNN's reported, but it still remains under seal. So they're not saying what these 30 different charges are. But the investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office began when Trump was still in the White House and relates to a $130,000 payment made by Trump, then personal attorney Michael Cohen, to Daniels in late October 2016, days before the 2016 presidential election, to silence her from going public about an alleged affair with Trump a decade earlier. Trump has.
Yeah, but I guess my question is it that's illegal?
I believe there's actual pictures of two that she took.
Yeah, I
that video or that
in
the
the
video
States. I mean, they've got such different laws.
Lennie.
What's that?
They're trying to say it was campaign money.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe I agree. That sounds
which is public money.
But that's different. But again, I'm not promoting prostitution or anything bad. I'm just saying she's an adult star who's been paid her whole career for sex and money and whatever. Anyway,
but
it's just
more.
I
mean, if they had an affair, who cares?
Yeah.
Right. Just because somebody has an affair doesn't make them an evil person.
And how many times did John sneak out of the White House to go see
that's not John John's any president. I mean, how many?
What about Bill Clinton?
Were rock stars and
exactly
movie stars and whatever, right? It's like I'm again not trying to judge anyone or be holier than thou, but like to me, it seems like an awful lot of waste of resource from
it's people trying to stall him out or
oh no, exactly.
That's all it is.
But that's what I'm saying. In the end, what is the actual?
We'll find out in a few months if it worked or not.
All right, you ready for this? This is one that I shared you guys the other day, and I bet none of you has read it. But a new study out of Great Britain suggests that medical cannabis may lead to improvements in health-related quality of life among patients suffering from chronic illness. No. So they finally had a study to say exactly what we've been telling people for years. But the study published in the Expert Review of Clinical Pharmacology analyzed 2,833 patients who are enrolled in the United Kingdom Medical Cannabis Register. There was 3,546, but 443 were excluded because they failed to complete their patient-reported outcome measures. But still, 2,833. They wrote that the study suggests that cannabis-based medicinal products are associated with an improvement in health-related quality of life in UK patients with chronic diseases, and that treatment was tolerated well by most participants, but adverse events were more common in female and cannabis-naive patients. And I think an issue with that is cannabis naive doctors who don't know how to prescribe and do proper titration.
Well, that's actually a problem in the Canadian space. Basically, here's your medical.
It is.
Go have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Figure it out.
They really don't counsel or teach anybody anything, and that's why it should be through a pharmacy. No offense to anyone, train people or whatever method. People need to have the opportunity for education and training.
Yeah.
Again, fuck you, shoppers, because you didn't do it.
Medical cannabis was legalized in the United Kingdom in 2018, but it can only be prescribed when other licensed medications have failed to produce an adequate response.
That's basically what they said when we started all this shit. Unless we think that you actually need it, you can't use it.
Yeah. Since 2018, cannabis medicinal products can be prescribed in the United Kingdom by specialist doctors for chronic illnesses where there's been insufficient response to licensed medications.
Do you see what Alexa just said?
Yep, no, she's right. 100% right, and that's the problem. But what Marcel was just reading, this is what they're going to say in Canada and everywhere. Oh, you got to fail this pharmaceutical, then you get the good one.
Yeah.
They do that. No offense, that's insurance companies and everything, right? They do that with pharmaceutical.
But we've been doing that since the MMAR.
Yeah.
Where doctors had patients try other treatments first. I mean, I tried a whole slew of things. And some of them were pretty nasty fucking things. But the whole time I was also still using a small amount of cannabis because that was the only thing that was helping. But I also couldn't afford it, whereas all of the other shit was free.
Well, you see, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, even when I started dabbling in the cannabis thing, I couldn't afford it. So I had to go on, what was it called? Sesame. Right?
Well, for me, it wasn't a matter of that. It was because I didn't have a diagnosis, my insurance wouldn't pay, which meant I had zero income.
Yes.
Right. So I got shit like Sativex. I mean, that's the most horrible tincture in the world.
Well, the Sesamet's not much better, buddy.
Well, actually, the Sativex is better because it's actually made from cannabis, where Sativex is just a synthetic.
Fair enough.
Or the Celebrex is the other one. Nabalone is another one.
Nabalone is
Sesamone.
Nabalone and Sesamet are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sativex is actually a really weak ass shitty
even in Nick
tincture.
There's Nick. Hey, Nick.
That's made with decarboxylated cannabis.
Don't forget about Marinol.
Marinol. Yep.
I had to eat 6,400 milligrams. I had to eat 6,400 milligrams of gabapentin and 400 milligrams of baclofen and I think it was 60 milligrams of tizanidine, and I was doing that for 2 or 3 years before I actually got a half decently sized cannabis license. So there was definitely restrictions on it.
Oh yeah.
I had my papers sent back to me this week.
Why? What'd you screw up?
I missed one postal code spot.
Yep.
So they tagged it, put a little sticker thingy there for me, but then sent me a whole slew of other forms because apparently I used the wrong forms.
Well, I helped somebody with theirs, and the doctor put the wrong date.
Well, they've kept my doctor's side of things, so obviously that was okay.
No, this one, the doctor had put 22 instead of 23.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
So he took it back to the doctor. The receptionist put whiteout on it.
Yeah.
Put the 23 on it.
You can't
but
do
didn't initial it. So sent it all back.
You can't actually white out the medical document anyway. You have to cross it out and initial it.
Yeah. Well, she whited it out and wrote over it. So
that's
had to come back.
Tainted.
And I said, screw this. I printed off a new sheet. I just go and get this one filled out with the right fucking date. Get it over with. So as soon as he sent that in, everything got back fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get Dean to help me with it because of my dyslexia. Make sure it's all right and send it off tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday, Monday. What's today? Friday. Welcome to the 420 radio show. I got there.
I just said happy Friday.
Anyways, I've got.
Guess what? Tomorrow is.
What?
April Fool's Day.
April 1st.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guess
cool.
what growers should be doing that growing outdoors?
Getting their
seeds.
Yeah.
Starting their seeds tomorrow.
Yep. I got to get a warming blanket. That's all I need now.
You ain't got a heat mat out?
No, that's what I got to get.
Now, what size are you thinking about getting?
Well, there's different sizes online. I was looking at them today. I'm going to measure
the one that comes with the tray, and then you can just fill the tray.
I was going to say, make sure you get the one that either fits inside of a tray, or you can put 2 or 3 trays on that one mat.
The ones that I was looking at that you put it on top of.
On top? No, trays always go on the bottom, Al. Heat mats always go on the bottom.
That's what I mean. You put it on the table.
And the tray sits on top.
On top of the table, yeah.
Right. Okay, right. So I have one that it's a tray that's made for the heat mat. And then other trays sit on top of that.
No, I'm just gonna keep it real simple, stupid, and get one that sits on the table, and then I'll put because I've got my little sun blaster greenhouse thingy with the lamp on it as well. So
this sits on the table too, but it was a set. It came with the bottom tray, the heat mat, the top tray that holds your plants, and the dome.
Well, I mean, if I had seen a kit like that, I would have got it, but that's not how I did it. So I've got what I got. I know the sun blaster system. I love it. I used it the first time I tried growing something way back when.
I know. I just went out and bought another sun blaster light.
So I take it, Marcel, you got your stuff started.
So I'm getting ready to cut the tops off of my mother's.
How warm do I?
For a second.
What's
that?
I'm watching this series, and this is twice in the last 2 games of this OHL game. Last night, I've never seen this happen before. So you realize when there's delayed penalty, the other team pulls the goalie, get the extra man until your team touches the puck.
Yeah.
So last night, Sudbury, the guy went to pass it back to his defense partner and fanned on him a little bit and scored on his own net. Never seen that before happen. I've never seen it happen before. This time, the Sudbury's killing a penalty. The player was skating down to kind of forecheck the Peterborough guy behind the net. He's skating by the goalie. He right at a slap shot, tripped the goalie skating by and tripped him.
Tripped his own goalie?
No, the other goalie, just slew-footed him as he was skating by.
Well, that's a penalty.
Oh, he did. It was, but I was like, what the fuck? And the referee's like sitting right there. Is like, you almost see the referee just kind of ready to put his hand, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But, literally, I think that's a shot and that's a scene in Slapshot.
Yeah.
It literally is, if I recall the movie. And
do you know what I used to do with my players? If we were going up against a team we'd never play, I had a defenseman that had a wicked shot, and he could aim it anywheres. And his whole goal is that the very beginning of the game is fire 3 pucks at the goalie's face just to see where he's going to go. Then I would tell everybody where to shoot on the goalie.
Well, it's called waste one is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's a old technique. You're down on the side, waste one.
Mm-hmm.
No angle, put it up in his fucking kitchen.
Go for the throat.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
But anyway, this has just been the most interesting 2 days of hockey I've seen in a long fucking time. This.
Yes, Darcy, to get back to that, I'm going to cut the tops off of 3 plants tomorrow.
Oh.
And root them out.
And then you'll know which. Oh, because those are all feminized seeds. So
those are all feminized.
Well,
now I've started some Bruce Banner that aren't feminized, so I'm going to have to grow those out, chop the tops off, flower them quick, just to find out what's what.
Well, I'll have yours for you when you come down next time, because I can get it anytime now.
All right.
I was asked when I want to take them, but I told them I got to wait till someone drops me off a grow tent.
Is that a shot at me?
I think it was. I really think that was a shot at you.
Yeah, I've been telling him to bring my grow tent, I think 9 months or something like that. So it's legit. It's legitimate.
Do you guys mind if we take a quick break?
Go for it.
Yes, I do mind. Actually, what are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Al has done up a new 3-minute promo for CBG TV, and I want to run it, and then we can go pee, and then we'll come back. We'll do a grow segment and continue on with the show. How's that?
I'm just watching hockey anyway. Do what you like.
Awesome.
I was going to talk about light anyways, Al. What light should you start your plants with now? Because I've been asked a lot. Should I go fluorescent? Should I go LED? Blah 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 blah. So yeah.
Okay, so we'll watch this, and then we'll be back with our grow segments. This is the 420 Radio Show. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com. Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com.
Are you watching television on Roku, Fire, maybe an Apple TV or even Chromecast? If you are, then download the Boxcast app and search for CBG TV.
CBG TV broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com. You're watching the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com. We are the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com.
Get funky and get back up again. What are you watching? Not ready yet? Okay.
Hockey game.
Hey, this is Cheech.
And this is Chong.
And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
What is it?
Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time.
420 radio?
Woo!
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
This is how we grow the weed.
Just holding on the puck and
The word intensity. I don't find we got that word intensity.
not tonight. Yeah, that's it.
Then he's talking to somebody about hockey. Darcy's got his mic muted, so he can't talk about growing.
So what
No.
would you bench 7 guys or 5 guys?
Not like we're doing a podcast or anything.
I'm muting him. And I'm gonna unmute him.
You can't unmute somebody who's muted themselves. You can only mute somebody who you've muted. Then you can.
So we're going to talk about lights.
Lights.
Have you got lights questions for Darcy
I always have questions for Darcy.
on lights?
Well, not yet, because I'm going to use the Sunblaster stuff right off the bat. But the lights will be very soon.
Yeah.
A few weeks.
So
I mean, I'm not, my plan for this is to put some out. I'm not even going to bother flowering inside until next year.
Right.
Right.
But here's some cool tricks that you can do with your Sunblaster.
Okay.
Get yourself a spray bottle.
Yeah.
Just keep water in it. Just water in the spray bottle. When your plants are in, when you put your plants in this Sunblaster and they start to come up, spray the inside of the dome with that water.
So it makes like a terrarium.
So it becomes very condensated.
Yeah.
Right? Cover it up and just let them sweat that moisture into them.
Okay.
And just keep them, you can keep them in there until they hit the top.
Those other seeds, they never came up still.
How were you cracking seeds?
I told you we went through this a few times. I soaked the pods and then I put them in the pods.
Yeah.
I didn't crack them. I should have, yes, but I didn't.
Fucking hate that. So I'll tell you what. I bought some seeds and it comes with specific instructions because they're guaranteed.
Okay.
And their specific instructions are to soak the seed for 14 hours, no more, no less. So you got to set a timer for 14 hours.
Okay.
Then you take the seeds and you put them on paper towel and you get them wet, but you don't cover them. You just let them sit out under light because they need oxygen and they'll crack. So I took half the seeds and I tried this. And some of them cracked finally. The paper towel dries out 2 or 3 times a day, so you got to keep soaking it. But you can't have it overly wet. And then transplanted them, and only one is coming up of the seeds that popped. So I took the same batch of seeds yesterday, and I did it my method, which is I throw them on a plate on paper towel that's wet, cover it with a bowl, and then I set it on my heat mat.
I usually put them up in the top corner of my kitchen cabinets, like in the kitchen, in the cabinets up in the top corner where it's warmer. And
is it warm in your cabinet? because some cabinets aren't warm.
In mine is yeah.
But this
One
morning,
above
so
the stove.
their method, it took about 3 days before they cracked. My method, they were cracking this morning.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with that method, using toilet paper, wetting it, and just letting them go. Usually within 24, 48 hours, you've got a whole mess of them.
Yeah.
Right. But
But
I
if
don't
you
know
don't-
why I don't know why I just took the seeds and stuck them in the fucking hole. I've never done that before, and I shouldn't have. I should have cracked them first. It was my fault.
Yeah. Their guarantee is that you have to crack the seeds their way. And
How
their
can they
way,
tell?
their way sucks.
But how can they tell? How can they
I don't
tell if
know.
you didn't do it their way?
Exactly. They can't.
Little video cameras inside their seeds? Little monitors?
They might.
Well, we'll see. I mean, these ones are just now growing some tails, so I'll let them get a little developed, and I'll transplant them into a little peat pot and throw them under my sun blaster and see what happens to them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how well my LED light will do for veg.
Well, it depends on the light color or the color spectrum of it.
It's full spectrum, and it's $1,200.
What brand is it, Al?
I don't know. I'll. It's
Did you buy it on
basically.
Amazon?
Yep.
Okay, well, most Amazon lights.
No. It could be either.
It could be. It could be Mars. It could not be.
But most Amazon lights, for the most part, LED lights will grow your plants and veg. It's just when it comes to flower.
I'm not worried about it. I've got a 650 for flower, Darcy. I'm using this
I
for
know.
the flower side or for the veg side.
But people want to try to grow for the least amount of money, and so when you look at these LED lights, you got to look at the spectrum on them.
Yep.
And read the comments.
It comes with a catalog, all the spectrum, all the information's on the little piece of paper and all that. But we'll go through that stuff when I pull it out and
best bang for your buck on Amazon for an LED light is a Spider Farmer.
You know what? I've had them come and ask me if I wanted to review their products, and I said yes, and they said, well, if you pay for the shipping, we'll send you the products. And I was like, I don't have $300 to just shell out on stuff that I don't even know if it's going to fucking show up. So I never went for it.
As far as their LED lights, I have one of their 4,000 eyes.
Yep.
It's more towards their top end, and it's like $800, and it's worth every penny. I flowered underneath of it. I veg underneath of it. It's a good all around light.
Well, I've got the one that came with the tent that Dean has that we're going to use for flower, and I've got the one that I bought there off of Amazon for the veg, and I bought it. It was $60 or $70. So I mean, like, how wrong can I go with that?
Nope. Just if you start
if it
noticing
doesn't
your
work,
plant.
if it doesn't work, I will go out and spend the $1,700 on a light that will do veg and flower.
Well, just remember, Alan, if your plants start lagging and start stretching really bad, drop that light right down to like 8 inches away from them.
Well, I was going to do that anyways, about a foot.
Yeah, a foot. Start at a foot, because in your little pamphlet, it'll tell you at 18 inches from the canopy, it gives you this amount of light. At 12 inches, it'll give you this, and at 8 inches, it'll give you this.
Well, I like I said, I haven't even pulled it out of the box yet. So,
I
looked at it.
Yeah, it's all about penetration of that canopy, right? Like, we use really, really good LEDs at work because we get really good penetration of that canopy, right? That's what you're looking for.
Yes, I get that. At this point with this round, I'm more worried about seeing if I can produce something that's worth, the amount that I've put into it, and it will get better every time.
You will. Just remember, don't get upset after your first crop if it didn't turn out quite the way you wanted to, because your second one will likely turn out better than that.
That happened 2 crops ago. So, but I know, like, I mean, I'm trying to learn how to set up a grow room, grow inside, and I've got to set up my greenhouse and grow outside pretty much at the same fucking time. So it's as Marcel keeps bugging me, it is taking a little longer than I would like, but you know,
it is, and you're trying to learn
okay.
2 different grow styles too.
I'm right. So that's why I said to the guys who are helping me that I'm setting up the flower side, and I'm going to veg in there and then put stuff out. And then, you know, we'll have clones, we'll have whatever we need to do and learn this year. Right. And then we'll play during the Christmas or winter next year and inside. And then we'll see how we do. Will I enter something? Doubtful. I heard you guys talking this week. Shouldn't say heard, saw.
Who was talking?
You guys were talking about submitting stuff to the Harvest Fest.
Yes.
Yes. Which is when are we having Deb on, or when are we going to start running the commercial or whatever?
I don't know. I have to talk to Deb.
All right.
I'm reading this article.
Oh God.
About psilocybin.
Yes. One of my favorite subjects.
Well, Health Canada, back in June, before last June, a bunch of doctors applied to Health Canada to possess and use psilocybin as training to be able to effectively tell other patients how to use it.
Yes.
And that Health Canada said no.
Yes.
Because it hasn't seen evidence that therapists ingesting psychedelic trains them to provide more effective treatment. I fucking disagree. Because if a doctor tried OxyContin, he'd fucking never prescribe it to somebody.
Well, I know that I in conversations.
Yeah, but Marcel, you're using common sense.
In conversations with my dad about that subject, my dad was a psychiatrist, and a practitioner. Do they not, while they're going through their courses and stuff, do they not have a clinic where they try?
No.
Drugs?
No.
Well, they fucking should.
I know they should. They should. Every doctor should try some of the medications that they're fucking prescribing. If they're so safe.
That's my biggest advocacy with cannabis. It's literally the only drug, if you want to call it that,
you can openly try.
You can actually try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Outside of Advil, I suppose.
No, I mean, a lot of doctors use cannabis, and that's great.
Many
and some of those doctors can very effectively tell people how to dose with cannabis.
My dad was a pill doctor.
Yeah,
that's what he was.
Most doctors are, but don't forget, their training comes from medical school, which is basically funded by pharmaceutical companies.
That's right. Although he did go into light therapy, so we combined pills with light therapy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Did it work?
In fact, his office down in the basement, I'm sure his wife hasn't touched it, will have a very large light bank sitting there. Did it work? I don't know. He got sick after he started getting sick around that time. And
maybe it was the lights.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It was Parkinson's. I guarantee you that. It had nothing to do with the lights.
Oh, you never know.
Although, they say Parkinson's is environmental, right? Or genetic.
I think it's genetic, isn't it?
Is it? Len's too busy watching hockey.
No, it's all of it. It's actually an autoimmune disease with genetic components.
Yeah.
As well, is diabetes like that?
Honestly, there's thoughts out there that all diseases caused by inflammation, oxidative stress, or
an endocannabinoid deficiency. Because if your body's not producing enough endocannabinoids to feed your immune system, you're never going to be healthy. So if you add
how much
cannabinoids, you add phytocannabinoids to supplement or replace endocannabinoids, and you have a better quality of life, like that study in Britain showed.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that study in Britain. They're going to say it's weak level of evidence.
I don't know. It's all of the medically licensed patients in Britain.
No, but what they're going to say, it's more of a cohort or a retrospective survey. They don't. I'm talking about the I'm talking about the evidence-based medicine assholes of the world in the pharma.
Right, but how do you prove or disprove somebody's claim of quality of life?
They don't. What I'm trying to say is that they've programmed everybody in this world, in the pharma world, COVID and everything, no evidence, follow the science. So to them, unless there's a randomized, double-blinded control study of 20,000 people, your product is no good. That's what Health Canada is telling you right now for cannabis. That's what every cop out there, every doctor, and every fucking idiot that says, "Oh, there's no evidence. There's no evidence." That's what they're talking about. No evidence.
Right, but that's basically criteria that was set out by the pharmaceutical companies to keep natural products and other pharmaceutical companies out of that industry.
Are they still?
They're not going to look at. They don't look at it that way.
Are they still saying on Health Canada's website that it is not medicinal?
Mm-hmm.
And are they still calling it marijuana?
I don't know if they're doing that, but
last time I saw it was marijuana with an H.
Studies have grades to them. A meta-analysis number one, a large meta-analysis number one, randomized controlled trials number two. Then you have cohort studies and retrospective studies. Case studies are dog shit. And unless you're that number one or two, they say you have no evidence.
What does your
that's the problem. So as much as that was a nice little study, they'll say, "Oh, very weak level evidence."
But yet, it's the number one medical topic in the world.
Oh, it's still. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you the reality.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
They actually say cannabis on the website now. It doesn't have. I haven't seen marijuana written anywhere. So.
Really? They've changed it on what Canada.ca? That's Health Canada. Canada.ca, right? Yeah.
Addiction to cannabis and mental health. So they've got lots of services and information. Cannabis impairment, about cannabis poisonings in children. Seriously, give them a bag of chips and put on some cartoons. They'll be fine. Cannabis under Act. Addiction to cannabis. And kids, and that's the thing with kids and people. I mean, they seriously blow this out of proportion so much. Kids have very fast metabolisms. They're not going to be high near as long as you are because they're going to burn it up. Mm-hmm. Mental health, youth. All right, I got to read Addiction to Cannabis.
Addiction to cannabis?
Yeah. Addiction to cannabis. Cannabis addiction can cause serious harm to your health, social life, schoolwork, work, and financial future. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction to cannabis or other drugs, help is available. Contrary to popular belief, people can become addicted to cannabis.
People can become addicted to anything.
Continued, frequent, and heavy cannabis use can cause physical dependency and addiction.
Including porn.
Yeah, well, it's a gateway drug. Some people can develop tolerance
gateway drug.
Some people can develop tolerance to the effects of cannabis. Tolerance is characterized by a need for larger doses of a drug to maintain the same effects. Tolerance can develop after a few doses. In some people, tolerance can eventually lead to physical dependence and/or addiction. But if you're using it medically, and they're talking about medical cannabis, it's not called an addiction. It's called properly titrated to the level of medicine that you actually need. If you think high is relief, all you're doing is chasing the dragon and you're never going to catch it. Seriously. And that's the problem with cannabis is people have a hard time differentiating relief from high. Me, I know I'm high, but I also know that I don't need to be high to have relief from cannabis.
Well, that's like, I get asked, when you go out, do you usually medicate? Not if I'm driving, for one. And usually not. I mean, I took 3 doobies with me when I went on Monday to Thunder Bay. I came back with 2. But if I was sitting home working or watching TV, I would have gone through 6,
So some people are more prone to becoming addicted than others. It's estimated that 1 in 3 who use cannabis will develop a problem with their use. It's also estimated that 1 in 11, or 9%, of those who use cannabis will develop an addiction to it. This statistic rises to about 1 in 6, 17%, for people who started using cannabis as a teenager. If a person who smokes cannabis daily, the risk of addiction is 25 to 50%. If you're a medical patient and you're using cannabis every day, again, it is not an addiction. It is a treatment.
This is what Health Canada is saying.
I'm saying about it, the fact that it's treatment. It's saying that if a person smokes cannabis daily, the risk of addiction is 25 to 50%. So if I stop smoking cannabis and then all of a sudden I'm in pain, is it because I was addicted? And that's my withdrawals? Or is it the fact that I'm no longer being medicated?
It's a valid
I think that's really stupid to put that on there in regards to medical cannabis, because people that are using cannabis for medical purposes are going to build up a tolerance, yes, but they don't need to go after the high if they're not looking for that high.
Well, most people are looking for the high, though.
So problematic cannabis use can include some of the following behaviors: failing to fulfill major duties at work, home, school. Nothing would get done without cannabis.
That's called ADHD and why I use cannabis.
Right, that's what I mean. Nothing would get done without cannabis. Giving up important social, occupational, recreational activities because of cannabis use. No, I would give those up because people are probably judgmental assholes and I don't want to be around them.
I'm also not active that way.
Right, me either. Consuming it often and in larger amounts or over a longer period than intended. That's Friday nights.
right here at the 420radio.ca every Friday, 7 p.m.
Being unable to cut down on or control cannabis use. I've never had that issue.
It's not an issue that I enjoy having.
Well, no, I mean, you could be forced, yeah, I suppose. If you show most or all of these behaviors over a 12-month period, if you show most or all of these behaviors over a 12-month period, you may have a cannabis addiction.
So call CAMH and see what they have to say about it.
Yeah, but here's what people got to remember: when they're talking addiction, it's usually somebody that is seeking, preoccupied with their next fix, doing things even though there's negative consequences. That's an addiction, and there's a difference between addiction and tolerance. Yes, you will get tolerance if you use cannabis every day. You'll get tolerant to Advil if you use fucking Advil every day.
That's right.
is there cannabis withdrawal symptoms for people that use it long term and chronically? Yes,
Probably.
but it's mild. There'll be anxiety. There'll be a little bit of whatever, but it's not. There's a big difference versus like a cocaine withdrawal or heroin withdrawal or opiate withdrawal. But that's also the same argument. Like, you got to be careful, right? Oh, am I in pain? Do I need more OxyContin because my pain's getting out of control, or am I addicted? It is a tough scenario.
Yeah, I've seen friends go absolutely batshit crazy because they're out of fucking perks.
Oh, 100%. I know what it looks like when people are looking for their opioids and those type of drugs. It's not pleasant. It's horrible. Cannabis does not come fucking anywhere close to anything like that. No. So the whole calling it an addiction, I don't know. Like, that's bullshit.
When I don't use it, my pain levels go up. My food intake goes down because I can't eat. And my diabetes symptoms go through the fucking roof when I don't use cannabis.
It comes down to, are you having a better or worse quality of life or better daily functionality with or without the product? I don't care if it's cannabis, mushrooms, Tylenol, coffee, whatever. It's like,
without cannabis and mushrooms, I have no life.
Exactly. So
I don't use other pain pills. I very rarely even take a Tylenol because it usually makes my stomach bleed. And the only pills that I take on a daily is stuff that I need to regulate my cannabis.
Wait, I have a question.
Guess what? If I put you on Paxil for 2 years, guess what? You're now addicted based off their definition there.
Exactly. So yeah,
I have a question in regard to what Alexis has said. What is CUD?
Yeah,
Cannabis use disorder.
Oh,
CUD.
Another made up term.
No, they've made a survey or a scale.
Just so you know, CUD is partially digested food.
Yeah, cows do it.
No, but that's
I'll just sit here and do that for the rest of the show.
Is there the such thing as the traditional, stereotypical, wake and bake, don't go to school and work? That's a CUD. Those people do exist, but they're just probably. Is it cannabis causing it? No, they're probably just lazy shits.
That's it exactly.
That is what they would. That is what they would call a CUD. Is like the stereotypical just Cheech and Chong, don't do nothing, loser.
Yeah.
Well,
the one that's with addictions is the one that's offering blowjobs for a gram of pot. Okay,
that's an addiction.
I gotta say that if cannabis, if the amount of cannabis that I have to use to actually live, makes me a CUD. Well, whatever. I'd rather be known as a CUD.
They're taking this from alcohol disorder.
I know. I'm just bugging, but
but again, it's the same thing. Like, listen, if somebody wants to have a glass of wine tonight, no big deal. But all of a sudden, if they can't go to work until unless they have their glass of wine at lunch, or it becomes an issue, right? So,
well, it's like, drug testing. Okay, recently I took a friend to get drug tested for a new job, and he had stopped using cannabis. And
what type of jobs are you going for when he needs drug testing?
I don't want to say, but it's required. And
there are still jobs out there, and some of them are truck drivers.
Sure, it's
some
required,
of them are
and
security guards.
He was told by the drug testing thing, you must have used it yesterday or today, and it was like, no, he hadn't used it in 2 weeks. Because
he's a chronic user, it can take 6 to 8 weeks to get out of your system.
Exactly, but you see, he had not been using it so it's just fucking stupid.
But
right?
Was that a piss test or a hair test?
I believe it was a piss test.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid, regardless.
I'm sorry, but drug
clean.
testing in any job is fucking stupid.
Yes, it is.
Yep,
I don't agree with
What someone does on
testing.
their own time is
That's
fucking
right.
stupid.
That's right.
So I got to tell you this story because this is hilarious because this happened to me in the military. We were on course, and there was a whole bunch of us all on course that liked to partake in the odd bit of hashish. So we have a barbecue at my house on a Sunday afternoon, and of course Sunday evening, all of the ones that like to partake partook, which was pretty much the whole class. The next morning we get to class, and they walk in and they say, okay, the first thing you have to do is remove your name tags. Do not mention anybody's name from here on out. Don't say names. If you need to talk to somebody, tap them on the shoulder, but don't say anybody's name. We said, why? You're going for anonymous randomized drug testing. It was like all of the air in the room got sucked out instantly because everybody went. So we all went and had to do a piss test that was completely anonymous. And I think it was about a month later, because we were still on course, we got called into the auditorium and they gave us the results of this anonymous testing. And it found that 85% of the Canadian military was using cannabis at the time. Some tested positive for opiates, some tested positive for LSD. And we thought, well, we were glad to add to those numbers. So yeah,
that's the problem with the test, though. It means the person used it at some point. Does not mean they're inebriated right now. That's why I don't really get it.
Exactly. I mean, and I had this conversation with a drug recognition expert for the police, who told me that he was trained to tell.
We should get somebody like that on the show.
No, because man, it's hilarious. This guy says, "Oh, he said, yeah, he said I'm trained in drug recognition." He said, "So if anybody has a problem and is high with substance abuse, I can identify that right away." I said, "Really?" I said, "So how much have I used tonight?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, you're perfectly fine. This is after we've been talking for an hour." I said, "Dude, I smoked a joint outside the door before I came in." And he said, "You what?" And I said, "I'm a medical patient." He said, "Oh," he said, "medical patients," he said, "are different."
Are different.
I said, "What do you mean different?" He said, "Well," he said, "with medical patients," he said, "we have to do different tests to judge impairment." I said, "Well, I got multiple sclerosis. What's this test?" He said, "Well, on somebody like you." And I said, "Yeah, let's just drop the conversation, dude. I'm not impaired. You're not going to get me for impaired because it would be impossible for you to ever prove I was impaired." He was just great. But yeah, he was a drug expert.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing is you could be prescribed a pharmaceutical and have impairment, right? Like it's
exactly. You can get impaired off of fucking cough syrup, for Christ's sake.
Isn't that really what that whole drugged driving campaign was about? It wasn't about cannabis. It was about pills and driving.
No.
Yeah, but they don't like to say that though.
No.
But they can get more media coverage by saying cannabis.
By saying drugs.
Including cannabis as a drug.
Yes.
Not as a herbal relief.
Let me ask a question. Is cannabis a drug?
No,
yeah,
it's
but it's a drug, but so is caffeine and coffee. It's a drug.
Yeah, that's a drug.
Okay, so caffeine. Let's talk about caffeine for a minute. Canopy has announced a new drink that's got a natural caffeine in it. What does that mean? And that's not allowed.
You're not allowed to add caffeine to cannabis. So whatever natural ingredients in the thing, it's got caffeine, I guess. So it's a loophole.
I'm going to tell you, chocolate has natural occurring caffeine.
Very small amounts, yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Doesn't it have more theanine or something?
Coffee, espresso, tea, some sodas. It's
Now,
but
okay,
that
but
would be added. That's not naturally occurring.
they're not naturally though.
No.
We've got 4 minutes, guys. Just
I got shit. Health Canada. Here's another story. So I investigated why some cannabis products are allowed to have melatonin in them in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're not supposed to add nutrients or supplements or vitamins to the product. And the argument is if it's physiologically natural in the plant, it's allowed to be in the product. Well, melatonin is technically an antioxidant in plant life, but I shot off them. There's no fucking way 2.5 milligrams is the physiological dose in the fucking cannabis plant. They didn't like my answer, and they just said, well, I basically asked them, all right, like, is it allowed or not, or should it be? And they basically said, well, it's up to you guys to interpret the act, and we don't interpret those things, and
if we don't like it, we'll
they basically
fight.
said if you think if you should really consult a lawyer to determine if you're appropriate to put it in or not, is what they told me. And I kind of laughed. I was like, you're Health Canada, you tell me yes or no.
How would a lawyer have that fucking knowledge?
I just laughed at them because they wouldn't actually say yes or no. They write the regs.
I'd like to know how they're getting naturally occurring caffeine in their drinks.
That I would like to know as well.
And I'll tell you why, because I've been looking up naturally occurring caffeine, and caffeine's found in more than 60 species of plants. But your biggest concentrations are going to be coffee beans, cacao beans, cola nuts, leaves and buds of tea, the leaves of yerba mate, and in the bark of a yoko.
Huh.
So, yeah, how are they getting a natural caffeine in there?
They may be playing the melatonin game, is why I brought it up. Is there trace amounts of caffeine in cannabis?
Yeah. No.
So you're saying they put melatonin inside their drink?
No, and there's some soft gels that have melatonin in it.
Oh.
Okay. Conveniently a CBN soft gel, by the way. Because CBN's bullshit, by the way.
What do you mean it's bullshit?
Doesn't work. CBN by itself does not work.
No, it doesn't. You need the other, but THC by itself doesn't really work.
Well, THC will have an effect, but CBN with THC makes a little bit more effect, but for the price of it, what you charge for it, it's not that great.
No.
ABC 1, 2, 3, you and me.
Oh, but now they're pushing out CBG too.
I know some joints that I seen
Marcel, I saw
that
in two
packed
articles.
right full of CBN. Because they were packed in 2019.
CBN is metabolite, but it's actually myrcene, I think, that actually gets you super sleepy off super old weed more so than the CBN. That's just my theory.
I think this is a conversation we're going to have to continue for another time because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say thanks for listening. And we're here every Friday.
Later.
Have a great week too there, Alexis.
Some point when playoffs are over, I'll actually look at the screen. Sorry, everyone.
Well, yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
It's rude. I hate doing it, but I'm sorry. It's the fucking playoffs.
I think Dale fell asleep. We haven't heard from him in a while.
No.
Too much CBN.
Darcy's not talking in here because he's busy posting stuff on Facebook.
Oh, is he?
All right, guys.
No,
we gotta go.
Look at that big fucking. Look at that joint. That's why I haven't been very talkative.
Okay, we got to go. Thanks for listening, and we will be here next week with a guest or maybe not.
I think Ken should be here next week, Darcy.
Can't get a hold of him. Having a hard time getting a hold of him.
You should reach out to Andy, Len, because they're in the news. Like they've been sending a lot of press conferences stuff out.
You got Andy's contact?
No.
I'll find his contact and send it to you.
All right, cool.
You know,
all right.
Andy said he'd come back on.
Okay, cool.
Right,
We'll see you next week. Say goodnight.
Yeah, bye.
Good night.
Have a good weekend.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh,
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
We are the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com.